welcome back to Word of the Twist Tarot with me, Kevin. Today we're going to do another deck walkthrough, and this one is the Medieval Feathers Tarot. I've had my eye on this one for a while and decided to finally pick it up, and the price on it is $35.95. You can see right there. And the publisher, I don't recall who I got this from, to be quite honest with you. I think I got it from Barnes & Noble. They say it's from Blue Angel, so I took the plastic off a minute ago. It's the first time opening the box. Okay, it's really nice actually. What's this? A little paper. That's to protect the booklet, I guess, I assume. And the booklet, wow, it's thick. Look at that. That's a really thick book. Let's look at it. It has acknowledgments, some illustrations about it. Using the court cards, how to use them if you don't know how to already. This is cool. It gives you the numbers, as you can see that, and what they actually mean, like the 1 through the 10, and then using odds or evens as well. I haven't seen that before. I've done it with a spread I was looking at. I call it the Heaven to Hell spread. And you basically walk through the beginning to the end. It's a cycle. It's kind of a cool spread. What else? Here's some bonus cards. Okay. Let's see. Some spreads as well, which is actually really nice to always see that. Okay. And then here's the actual Major Arcana. It's in color, which is actually really nice. They both have the upright and the reverse meanings. So that's cool. And they go to the minors as well. Three of Cups is right there. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get into this and look at the deck itself because we can read the book later, but I'm really interested to see what this deck looks like because I've had my eye on it for quite a long time now. But again, the book is actually really in depth. I'm actually going to read this one. It looks really interesting to me. And then it has some other decks that they have done. All right, cool. Anyway, that's the guidebook right there. The Medieval Feathers Tarot guidebook. And then the cards. Wow, this is actually really nice too. And they're thick. They're big. Okay, the box is super nice as well. These will last your cards for years to come. Back of the box, you can see. Messages from, did I say from heaven to hell? It's interesting. Messages from heaven. That's really cool. In the realm of dreams, the boundaries of time are unclear. The hidden becomes seen, and desires can be welcomed into reality. Here, feathers of fate meld the medieval imagery, and profound insight unfolds an elegant tapestry of self-reflection and divination. That word right there. Sorry, whenever I say the word tapestry, it's AI because ChatGPT is exactly how it talks. Side note, I know, but lately I've been seeing so much of this verbiage is driving me nuts. Anyway, with layers of symbolism and nuance that pay homage to their antique predecessors, this exquisite set is a rich portal into understanding the intricacies of the major and minor arcana, with the bonus cards and upright reverse meanings to guide you through the mysteries of the past, the potential of the present, and a clear vision of the future. All right, then. So there you go. That's what the deck is all about. So with that being said, like I always say, let's get into this. So here's the deck. Oh, it has some nice gold leafing on the side as well, or what they call gold foil. Take this here off. Okay, and that is the back of the cards. And these cards are not too thick, but they actually feel really nice. So see that? They're going to hold up very nicely. So reversed meanings or forward meanings, it doesn't really matter. Upright, reversed. This is really nice. And that's the King of Swords. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to start with the majors and then go to the minors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the camera down and also split these cards up a little bit. Let's go and get the majors separated out here. Give me 1 second to do this. So that's the majors there. This is a querent. The 22. That's interesting. Never seen that before. Self-embodiment. Okay. Give that in a minute. Let's just hold off. Then we have the aces. We have the cups now. And then after the cups, we're going to have, what's next? The wands. I'm going to really enjoy reading with these cards. I'm already connecting with them. I've never really connected with the deck this fast before. And then we have the swords. All right. So we're going to start off with the majors and move into the minors, and we're going to just basically do the minors like I did last time all in a row because others have said they enjoy that way of looking at it. So we shall continue to do that unless I hear otherwise from all you amazing viewers out there. Anyway, I also want to thank all of you for being with me today, reviewing this deck. If this is your first time here, welcome to Word with a Twist Tarot. If you have any other decks you want me to review, please let me know because I do buy quite a bit of these. And again, these are not given to me, they're out of my own pocket. I actually use subscriptions that I get from my Word with a Twist.substack.com. So people that subscribe there, I use that to help me buy decks to share with everybody. So let me lower the camera down. We'll go ahead and get started. All right, give me 1 second, please. All right, so we'll start off with the Fool. And this card's all about freedom in the upside right position. And upside down, it says evasive. That's kind of cool how they give you a little bit of keywords. I really enjoy the colors of this card, how it has a feather on the back. And I'm not quite sure what the feather represents because I haven't really looked into that before. But I do know it has a feather in the cap, which has a meaning where it's the same thing, and it might be, but I'm not quite sure. They got the little dog there, the Joker, the little thing they use in court gestures in front of the king, the fool. He's the only one that can make fun of the king because traditionally, if anybody else was saying anything to a king, they'd be killed. But the fool was brought in because he can make the king laugh without repercussions. So again, that's the fool and that's the zero. The magician, which is the beginning, or conceited upside down. See the reverse position? It's conceited. Right there. Upside right is beginning. Huh. The high priestess, the popis, which is wisdom. The empress, which is the three. Cards are really nice and thick. I thought I had two in my hand, it's only one. You know, I want you to look at this symbol right there. See the shield? The empress has the shield. She's the three. And then, of course, the emperor has the shield also, and he's the four. I just find that interesting. And there is a deck, I can't remember what it's called, where this actually means something. Well, it means something here, but it has a meaning to the theme and the style of the deck, and all kind of ties into each card as it progresses forward throughout the numbers of the majors. And that's Empress, productivity, or upside down is influence. The Emperor is the four. The Pope, interesting. The Lover is romance. That's an interesting card. These are really interesting cards. And what I like about them, they got kind of like a not a waxy feel, but kind of like a smooth, almost like they're protected, like a coating on them. I really like that. The Chariot, success, willpower. It's funny how it has the angel on the card. That's really interesting as well. Who's driving the chariot? Justice, balance. Okay. 9, hermit. Wheel of Fortune, which is the 10 card. This is really cool. I mean, it has change and then upside down is risk. Isn't that what the Wheel of Fortune is all about? Change, upside down. It's like you're not letting it happen, so therefore things become risky because you can't let go. Strength. The Hangman. Death. That's interesting. Temperance. The devil. That's a really interesting card. If you look closely, what do you see? You see a moth. Is that a moth or a butterfly? Anyway, it's a transformation. Then you have the snakes as well, kind of coming out here. Just through his head or through his ears is a snake, eagle, or something, some kind of bird on his knee with his talons, and the fires of hell. Again, too, that does not mean like I get so frustrated with modern day people. They're, oh my god, the devil card. This is a wonderful card because the 15 is all about change. It's about breaking addictions. It's about breaking things that harm you, walking away, stand up. You realize that's why upside down is realization. You realize that it's time to have new habits. And when you have the 15, let's think about this for a second. I'm kind of going off tangent, but the ones which I've always, when I talk about numerology, is around possibilities, potentials, right? And then the fives are what? The fives are all around struggle. So when you are given something, you have to struggle with that possibility of what you're going to do. Are you going to embrace that damaging thing or are you going to walk away from it? And if you do walk away from it, you have a 6, which is your harmony. And what's the 6? Well, that's the Lover's card. Unity, peace, love, happiness, wholeness. So really, when you see the Devil card, it's a good card to have because it's telling you that at the soul level that you have some change that's needed to get to the next vibration of life. 15. Ooh. Lightning. That must be one of the extra cards. 16. What does that card even mean? I have no idea. Let's see if we can see it in here real quick. Lightning must be a new card because the tower is a 17 in this deck. So it says lightning is precisely what man has seen and was lucky enough not to get struck by. He sits under the tree, which represents growth and is an omen of opposing sides. The lightning served a purpose. It caused his lambs to gather into one place, safe from the threat of predators. Oh, that's cool. This signifies gentleness in times of desperation. The mighty phoenix feathers let him know the lightning was a message from God. Be prepared to detach from all things that hold purpose for him, and there will be other things to come. That's interesting. The upright meaning is about time to take a break free from any constraints, physical or mental, that are limiting you from doing what you want and discovering new things to appreciate. And it goes on. Reverse means you have not been careful with your project and personal problems. Because of this, everything you have tried to achieve will remain idle, unable to progress, and you will have to leave things as they are and come back to them at another time to proceed. I didn't notice that before, but even has here what the feather means. So this is a phoenix feather, and it says the feather advises that everything motionless will soon animate itself to come to life, showing you that anything is possible if only you believe. Yes, all these have feathers. Okay, so the feathers have meanings as well. This is really interesting deck. Okay, so that's lightning, fortuity, or upside down is stagnation. Okay. Now this 16. This is 16 too. So they're keeping the numbers. This is the tower. That's interesting. So there's two 16s in this deck. So the tower, house of God. Okay, that's interesting. 17 is the star. Visibility, hope. Upside down, they say, is perilous. The moon. That's a wild moon card. That's the 18. Emotions. Escape upside down. It's a really different vibe with this deck than the typical Rider Waite deck. Remember, the moon is, so if you're reading this deck, right? Let's say you're reading this deck for the first time and you don't really understand it, kind of like we're doing here together. You know the moon's always subconscious and thought. And so then you also see these little sparks. These are your yods. So it's saying that, again, I don't know what the book says, but what I'm saying is that when I read this, because it's the 18, 8 and ones and 9, it's all about attaining something greater. And so when you can move through the subconscious mind and take the yods, the divine sparks with you, then things can open up and will basically help you have a more leveled head, not to walk in fear. When you're upside down, then you have to kind of escape your own head because you're in this weird fear pattern. You don't know how to navigate a different path. Again, I do not know what the book says, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, very cool. Next is the sun. Oh, that's a really beautiful sun card. Judgment is next. Oh, right. Revelation. Ooh, yes, like you had an awakening. You can really feel that. What's weird about this card is that in the Rider Waite deck, you have the child in the middle. So remember, the two make one, or the two become one, and the child can see both. Here, that's missing. So you're losing that 3 vibe going on. But here you have 4 people. I have to study this card, really reflect on it for a bit to dive into, but it's a very interesting card. Next is the world. You come to completion. And after that, we have another card, which was the querent. You, self embodiment. It's wild because this card has every symbol in it throughout everything. And what's wild too is the arrow through the leg which hold it together, and you have the ram, or whatever that is. You have the crustacean from the moon card also right there, which I find interesting. Then you have the symbols from the world card around his head. So much symbolism in this card. And he has a fish at his feet. He's standing on 2 fishes. Wild. And the dragon above his head with another ram on top of his head. I think it's a ram. Okay, well, that's the major arcana with this deck. And again, they're nice and hefty. I really enjoy the size of this deck. I love the gold, like foil look on the sides too. See the gold foiling? Really pretty deck. Boy, I'm sure glad I picked this one up. All right, so now we're going to go to the minors. Put this here aside. So we have the cups. I may have to raise the camera up. The coins. The swords. And then the wands. Yeah, give me 1 second. Raise the camera up a touch. Yep, we're good. So we have the Ace of Wands. That's your creative power, your fire energy. You have the sword, which is your, it tells you there on the card. That's interesting. Your mentality, your intellect energy. Air. This is air. Fire, air. Earth, pentacles, material world. And then you have the cups, which are emotions or water. So that's the 4 aces showing. Really cool cards. All right. 2s. 3s. You know what's interesting about this deck, which I actually like quite a bit just from these number 3s here? The swords are all about the mind, right? And so when I hear people say that it's about heartbreak, it's not what really the 3 is about of the swords. Even though you have 3 swords going through a heart in the weight deck, it's not what it actually means. It's really because the mind is so broken that it affects the emotion. So it's deeper than that. It's where you're so much in mental anguish because of what happened that it does break your heart because your mind is not right. If you correct the mind, reverse the 3 of swords, then what happens is you heal. But here in this deck is saying the 3 of swords upright is all around victory. The wands is focus. That's the guy looking for the ships to come back in the weight deck. The 3 of coins That's where the person is working on the building with two people looking up at him. And the saying here, it's all about association. And the Three of Cups is all about birth. So remember the three ladies dancing with the harvest with the three cup up in the air? That's the weight deck. Here it's a little bit different. So these are very interesting cards in the way they feel and read. The fours, family for the Four of Cups, stability for the Four of Coins, restriction for the Four of Swords, and then the Four of Wands is to retreat. Interesting. Fives, Five of Cups, all around connections. Five of Coins, interference. Five of Swords, breakthrough. And the Five of Wands is overcoming. Overcoming struggle. Fives are struggle. Sixes, sevens. Seven of Coins, it says acceptance. Interesting. Cups is individuality. Swords is sharpness. And the Wands is struggle. Seven of Wands is struggle. The eights. The nines. That's funny. The Nine of Coins here is all motivation. Nine of Coins in the weight deck here. Attainment. She has enough. Things move slow. Motivation. Nine of Cups is harmony. Nine of Swords is courage. And the Nine of Wands is disruption. The tens now. So the Ten of Wands is loyalty. But remember, in the weight deck, it's all about burden, not letting others help you. You have to carry the load yourself. Here, the Ten of Swords is exhaustion. Man, I love this deck. The Ten of Coins is abundance. It makes sense. And the Ten of Cups is leadership. That's the happy family, which makes sense because when you have a family, you're a leader. You lead your family. Now we're going to go to the court cards. And we'll start with the pages. Page of Wands, creativity. That's correct. That's your passion. Page of Swords is preparation. Preparation for battle. Intellect, mind, getting ready to move fast on something you're thinking about. Page of Coins is all about the potential. And the Page of Cups is all about shyness. Okay, I can kind of see that. The Knights. Well, that's a wild knight card. Dig that one too. Oh, I love that. So much movement in that card. Oh, and the Knight of Wands too. So you can see the movement here, very active. Now remember, knights are always fire energy regardless. So when you have a wand, you have double fire, right? So it's really hot, fast moving. So urges make sense. You have an urge, you have to control urges because the fire wants to rip right through it. The swords is air and fire. When air and fire come together, combust, tornadoes, things like that. Just really, it can be very reckless and dangerous, but also can be very fast and smart too. Outsmart you, outwit you. The coins is fire and earth. So the fire and earth, it can burn it up, but it moves slow. So the fire on the earth moves slow. Knight of Coins. And Knight of Cups, fire and water simmer. So it's more of a calm. So these are more, these are active, these are passive. That's how I'm reading it. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. Oh, that's beautiful. I love the hint of color too in these. Queen of Coins, and then the Queen of Cups. Then the last card would be the Kings. Attitude, King of Wands. Swords, determination. Coins, all about principles. Yep. And the cups is all about optimism. But if that cup is flipped, it's negative. That's what says negativity. If the wands is flipped, exaggeration, boastfulness. Huh. All right, so that is the suits through the majors all the way to the minors. And I want to know what you think about them. Do you like this deck so far? Does it resonate with you? Do you find it interesting? I'm actually really digging it. I love this deck. And I will be definitely using this in my readings. I'll start off to learn the deck like I do. So here's a tip too. If you're trying to learn different decks, what I recommend is don't go full bore and hit, your 3, 4, 5, 7 card spreads or whatever. Instead, start with a daily 1 or 2 card pull. And that will kind of help you get the meaning and the feeling of the cards. So with the YouTube channel here, what I usually do with new cards is or new decks is I will use these for shorts because it allows me to really think about the card as I flip them, but it's a short. So I don't have to really overthink it, if that makes sense. I can really just focus on that 1 or 2 cards without really trying to understand the story of time as I spread across, multiple cards. Anyway, that's just me. I'm trying to learn a new deck, and that's what I'd recommend. So anyway, now let's kind of see how this thing will shuffle thing. Before I do, let me give you an idea how big this deck is. So this is my card deck you normally see me use. It's the normal Rider-Waite deck, and as you can see the size difference. This is massive compared to this. And then if I turn it sideways, show you how thick it is. Remember, there's 2 extra cards in this deck. 2 extra cards. But even with that being said, look how thick this deck is right here. See the difference in size? It's massive. So if you have small hands, it may be a little bit hard to shuffle. We're going to find out here in a minute. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck and see how it feels to shuffle. So let's start off. Doesn't shuffle very well. Let's try it again. I don't do bridge shuffles too much because I don't want to damage the decks, to be honest with you. You put the pressure in the middle to get the kind of that nice little fan going on, but I don't really care about that too much. I just want to shuffle the decks nice, and it does shuffle very nice. Extremely nice. So it shuffles long ways nice, better than sideways. So if you're going to go this way, look at that. Lays in beautifully. Okay. Now we'll go this way. It's a little bit stiff going this direction, and that's why I'm having a hard time getting them to shuffle nice and even. And they're also kind of big. Let me try it again. There we go. But because the gloss coating or whatever is on it, that kind of plastic feel to it, they shuffle really nice. So I would say I recommend this deck to anybody. And I think it's going to last a long time because it's of high quality. At least it feels of high quality. And you're going to enjoy it. If you like the Marseilles deck, you're going to love this deck here. It's the same vibe to it. Okay. Kind of stick a little bit like that. A little sticky. Okay. Should we do a quick reading? Why not? Maybe a message of the day or something like that. It's a single card. What we got? Okay, the 10 of coins. All about abundance. And since it's a coin card, it's about the earth or health. So it means good health, good things in the work world, good thing in finances, good health, good prosperity, and you'll have abundance of that. What I'm also interested in is how these things are split with the 5 coins of 5 coins. And fives are all around contention. So what it tells me is that even though you will have abundance, there'll be some struggle you'll have to go through. But when you add the struggles together and you take the problems you have and count them as one, so maybe you're dealing with something you think are two independent issues, they're really one. And when you add them, you get your 10, which is your fulfillment, your abundance, which is going to go back again to the one. So I do see good things in the future. And I do see that there are some things with the black feather here that are bugging you in your subconscious mind, but the white, the truth will prevail, is heavier on the white than the black. So it's going to overcome, and you're going to come through these struggles with flying colors. And so I see nothing but good things ahead. That's the reading I'm getting with this one card for this deck review today of the 10 of coins. Anyway, if you enjoyed this little deck walkthrough, I want to hear your comments, so please drop them below. Give this a like if you also enjoyed it. And if you're new here, it's your first time, please give this a subscribe, because without you, there's going to be no Word with a Twist tarot. All right, everybody. Again, I want to thank all you amazing souls for following me, for subscribing to me, and for joining me today. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody, bye-bye.